right, thank you for joining. As we wind down the last few seconds, only got about 3 or 4 viewers. If you can share this link out to Facebook, that would be appreciated, because I am currently in Facebook jail. I'm sure you've all been there. You all know what it's about. Arbitrary censorship, and well, we roll with the punches. So here I am on Facebook, or sorry, YouTube, and I'm going to be careful in terms of what specific language I use tonight. So if you find I'm talking in some code, you'll understand why. This YouTube channel has a number of playlists on it with background information on varying topics. It does not cover the C topic that much, for the reason that anytime it does, it tends to get flagged for misinformation. That being said, I'm on a local politician's website, a guy named Jason Kenney, and this is how he spent his Monday, and we really need to dig into this, because he again is, I think, a form of inciting hatred. You'll get to see for yourself. Before I play the video, I'm just going to actually close that video. Before I play the video, I want to show you how Jason has spent his day posting. Well, I mean, obviously not Jason. It's probably assistant number 1, assistant number 2, so on and so forth. So his most recent post here, sad to hear myocarditis in one of these soccer players that's received the shot, right? Oh, that's very sad to hear. Okay, let's keep scrolling, see what else is on his page. We'll skip all the comments where they're basically pointing out, they're pointing out that there's something going on. I think I've already broken my YouTube rule. I might get pulled down. Oh, no. I don't know how you talk about this without talking about it. It's tricky. Yeah. And when you hear what Jason Kenney has to say, and then you look at how everything's being censored, and you go, okay, who are the crazy ones here? Okay, so he's talking more about, the economy. A great success story. Self-driving truck technology. He's waving self-driving trucks in the face of truckers that are 38,000, I believe, strong now across Western Canada, that are planning on slow rolling into Ottawa. And this is how he's responding to that. Oh, look, self-driving technology. We don't even fucking need you guys. Isn't that cool? I wonder if I can get pulled down for swearing. Economic turnaround. He's talking about an economic turnaround. Bankruptcies are up 8% across Canada, but down 73%, at least corporate ones, in Alberta. Yeah, well, that's great. Who owns those corporations?
Mr. Premier, we've heard
so here's his interview. You got to hear this.
But despite experts...
I don't know if there's anybody in on the YouTube channel that can comment. I just want to check and see that you guys can hear the audio on this video. If somebody can go on and comment, if you've got a YouTube account, you should be able to comment. Just tell me if you can hear the audio on this video.
Talking about how it could be legally questionable, if not at least ethically questionable. Trudeau didn't denounce it. I'm just wondering what this government plans to do if, hypothetically speaking, there was a federal unvaccinated tax, or if the province were pushed to impose such a tax in Alberta.
Right. Well, I'm very concerned by the federal government supporting the principle of imposing taxes on people based on their health condition or choices. That violates the fundamental principle of universality in Canada's healthcare system, which is one of the guarantees of the Canada Health Act. I am very concerned about the announcement that the government of Quebec intends in principle to pursue a tax of some kind, a special health levy or charge on unvaccinated individuals.
Yeah, so far, so good.
We obviously
sounds good so far.
Strongly encourage people to get vaccinated. Doing so is the best way to protect their own health, but also prevent unacceptable pressure on our hospitals and healthcare system. And it's true that the choices made by people
So let me
not
just pause
to
that.
get vaccinated.
So again, here he is. He's saying that the health care system, if I've got this right, he's saying the healthcare system is problematic because of the unvaxxed. I'm pretty sure that's what he's saying here. Okay, so that's the beginning of it. But then listen what he goes on to say.
Collectively impose greater costs and burdens, stress and strain on our frontline healthcare workers and our healthcare system.
They fired
That's
at least
unfortunate.
750 workers.
But ultimately, we as a society, through universal public health care, agree to accept that the consequences of people's choices. We may not like it, but it's a moral obligation that we have, not to pick and choose who gets care based on their financial ability.
So again,
because the implication of this policy is
now what he's saying is it's a matter of economics, and low income people are less likely to get that. Is that is that really who's up against this? It's low income people, or is it people that have been put out of work because they refuse to take it? Okay, let's go on. It gets better. Listen to what this guy says.
Is that low income unvaccinated people would be denied care, which is, I think, inhumane and unethical, and certainly un-Canadian.
What's ethical about pushing something that's causing adverse reactions?
Unvaccinated people come from disadvantaged backgrounds, lower income backgrounds, and often from minority communities.
It's an income issue. It's an education issue.
In the data, for example, in the United States. So I think this could ultimately end up at being a kind of indirect discrimination against people who have multiple barriers, multiple challenges in their.
Okay, so again, yeah, it sounds like he's on our side here. Oh, but now he's saying, well, it's an economic issue. They have poverty. Now this is where it gets really good. So he's it sounds like he's standing up for it, and he's saying, well, it's a discrimination issue, and these are the people that are being discriminated against. So again, just like Trudeau, he's categorizing anybody that doesn't want to get the needle for whatever reason, whether it's religious, personal, or otherwise, scientific, okay? Listen to what he says. This is outrageous, absolutely outrageous. And he makes it sound like, he's just chartering a center path when he does this. And listen to it. It's sickening. It's disgusting.
Their lives, including poverty in many cases. I can very much, when I'm in speaking to homeless shelter directors, they tell me anecdotally a lot of their clients have not been vaccinated because many of these people are coping with significant mental health challenges, and they are afraid. They are legitimately afraid of the vaccine. I think they're mistaken, but sometimes you're dealing with people who might have very serious mental health issues. So should they be denied care? Should they be forced to get out? Well, they don't have a credit card. How would they pay for this extra charge?
Yeah, well, okay, that's beyond obvious, but it's like he's saying everybody that is against getting jabbed is homeless. Well, we're on our way to being homeless because you're putting us there. You fired healthcare workers. Your buddy in Ottawa has fired truckers, and because they won't take this thing, and you're saying, well, it's because their beliefs, they're wrong, they're uneducated, they're poor. I don't think so. This guy is absolutely insane. So let me go back to his wall. I've heard enough of him talk. There was another post he had up on here, which I found very, very interesting. So he's trying to pretend that he's not criminally involved in all of this stuff. Here he is. Oh, look, glad to see Health Canada finally approved Pfizer's Paxlovid medication for COVID-19. I'm guessing this is probably a version of one of two other drugs that I shall not name, just because I might get, censored for uttering the names that shall not be uttered. But he's pushing the vaccine, but he's now also pointing to this tablet. What do we know about this thing? And he's ignoring guys like, I got to bring up Chris Scott. Chris Scott had an amazing interview this evening. So we're going to go over to the Whistle Stop Cafe here. I'm just typing it in. Oops. Left Facebook. Let's go do that let's try that again on Facebook. There we go. Whistle Stop. Okay. So yeah, this interview right here, you're going to have to check this one out. He interviewed this evening. I'll just mute that. Peter Mccullough and Dr. Stephanie Seneff. And I was just talking about Dr. Stephanie Seneff yesterday or the day before when I was broadcasting to YouTube in context of glyphosate, aluminum, mercury, synergistic toxicity. And it turns out that she just happened to be on Fox News the other night talking specifically about the boosters. And yeah, Chris, he got an interview with both of these folks. Unfortunately, it looked like Dr. Mccullough was extremely tired and not at his best. It looks like he's burning the candle at both ends right now. He was looking pretty sleepy, pretty weathered. And but anyways, good interview. And if you didn't see it, check it out. I'm in the process of trying to download this thing and republish it to Telegram. So you've got Kenney suggesting that anybody that's against getting jabbed is, basically in a low economic range, and they're uneducated and they're street people. And no, it's middle class people that are standing up against this. It's business owners, it's truckers, it's anybody that's been disaffected by the government handling of this entire fiasco. Kenney came out just a couple days ago, admitted that they had the data wrong, and that was the data that basically led to all of their actions in 2020. And now what we're seeing is exposés. So let me pull off this video. Now what we're seeing is exposés of various data anomalies that are showing that basically there's a higher statistical amount of COVID in the hospital that are vaxxed. So I'm going to show that. I'm not going to get pulled down for misinformation because I'm going to show it live. We're going to go to the Alberta Health website. Alberta Health Services, COVID-19. Let's plug that in. Statistics. Now we need to get over to their site. It looks like it's being aggregated by Bing. You can see the rise in cases. Okay, let's get over to their website here. Now let's find out if they are still splitting it up based on vaccines. I believe they should be. Okay, now this 14-day date matters, but let's see here. Here we go. Now I see these numbers are changing constantly, but if you look at active cases here, let's make this just a little bit bigger. Active cases, 1 dose, 2 dose, 3 doses, unvaccinated. Okay, so now they're splitting it up by how many doses, because fully vaccinated, it was pointed out just a few days ago that what's fully vaccinated, because they're saying that they need more boosters. So now they split it up. and you can see it's a minority. Active cases, 17.4%, 11,000 out of a total of, total up all of these numbers, 7,000, 43,000, 2,400. So we're looking at about 50,300, 52,700, a total of 63,000 cases, and only 17% of them are unvaccinated. All the rest have 1, 2, 3, or 3 doses. That's significant. So, they've got the percentage now split up here if you look. But basically what it comes down to is the majority. So 67%, 70%, 82% of active cases in the hospital are vaccinated. So you got a problem, don't you? So here's this guy. He's pushing a Pfizer pill. He's saying, go get your booster. He's saying, we recommend the vaccination. He's acknowledging sports stars are getting the heart issue from taking the poke. So what am I missing here? Is he a lunatic? Does he know what he's talking about? Oh, the people that are against this, they're low income. They're bums on the street. We have to pity them because they have mental health issues. If I become a bum on the street, Jason, it is only because you put me there. Right? And so I would just, I would mirror that and say, Jason, if you end up in prison for the rest of your life, it's only because I put you there. Me and all my friends, I've only got 4 or 5 online right now, but, the replay will get shared. We're looking at this in real time, right? Real time. 82% of all new and active cases from the jab. So the jab doesn't work, does it? It never did. And you're penalizing people. It's right here in the stats. YouTube, you flag me, you take me down. That is going to be considered an act of war. That is an act of domestic, international espionage. Literally. If this gets pulled down, if my account gets pulled down for any reason, it is espionage because I'm just simply looking at government data online and speaking my mind about it and contrasting against this psychopath that's in power. What the fuck is he talking about? What do you mean it works? If it works, why is the proof not in the pudding? Okay, so this game they're playing, this is like what a 4-year-old does. Did you eat the cookie? No, I didn't eat the cookie, and the crumbs are all over the little one's shirt. Jason Kenney is a fucking cookie monster. Nom, 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 nom. He's got fucking crumbs everywhere. What the fuck? Is it just me? Am I the only one that needs to exclaim, what the fuck? That's it. It's the end of the rant. It's a short rant. Put this video out there. He's telling us that we're insane. I think he's insane. I'm looking at the stats, Jason. Outcomes are not matching your words. We've got a VAERS database. We can see it's causing heart problems in people. It's causing blood clotting. We can see this for ourselves. We don't need the 18,000 doctors that Peter Mccullough and Dr. Malone have brought together because we can see it right here. I don't need to be a doctor to look and see what is the result. Like, come on already. Enough of this nonsense. The guy is a lunatic. He's clearly a psychopath. He doesn't give a shit. Let me go back to his page. I'm going to back up my statements by simply showing you. He's a psychopath. He has to be. He absolutely has to be a psychopath. There's no other explanation I have for this because it makes no bloody sense. He thinks he's going to skate in the middle, somehow finagle his way Let's go to his wall. Here he is. Oh, it's so sad to hear. Diagnosed with myocarditis. Like that's a rare event. I'm just looking at the article on another window here real quick, just to see if it says whether he was jabbed. It's saying after a recent bout with the virus. So according to the article, it says that this guy's got it because he had the virus. Oh, okay. If I dig in deeper, I'm sure I'll find out more information. Here's the comments on Kenney's thread, and I can neither confirm nor deny any of these comments for accuracy. But I'm sure if you go in there and read, you're gonna find some interesting details. So here he is. Oh yeah, sorry about the myocarditis. Well, listen, myocarditis. When was that on the radar? All of a sudden, all of a sudden in the last 6 months, myocarditis is coming up everywhere. Is it magic? Did it magically just start happening? Oh no, it's the virus causing it. Is it the virus? Did we have myocarditis coming up in mass in 2020? When did the shots begin? I want to know. When did the myocarditis begin? I'm sure any of us can start doing internet searches and do this on a timeline. This is not rocket science, right? And so here he is skirting the issue. Here he is telling everybody that, oh, they're, the people that don't want this are mentally ill and they're wrong but we need to pity them. No, we need to pity you because there's something wrong with you, bud. And here he is. Who's his partner in crime? It looks like these guys. Yeah, I mean, this guy is sick. He is obviously just deluded, not looking at his own government's data. So what do you do about that? I mean, it's this, like I said, it's this game of a 4-year-old eating the cookies. No, I didn't eat the cookies. I didn't eat the cookies. And there's a trail of cookie crumbs right to the Cookie Monster. Look at him. Hey, Cookie, how you doing there? You are a monster indeed. Okay, so that's it. Share it out. Show everybody. This guy's nuts. I just showed you the stats and I showed you almost his latest update. What more do you need to see? Arrest him.